All right, good evening. Welcome to the Man Cave. So, today is Revenge of the 5th. Yesterday was May the 4th. Yesterday we watched the ninth and 10th episodes of Maul. We did a video about the ninth and 10th episodes of Maul while we were watching it and did not have the editing capacity to take out the sound of the episodes, so YouTube pulled our video. So today, also, he has strep throat, so he couldn't talk yesterday really good anyway. So today we're in a better spot. We're making sure that we do not have anything on and playing to get us in trouble. So we're gonna just give you our reaction to yesterday a day late. Sorry.
And I'm better now. I'm no longer contagious, and I no longer hurts to breathe. So I'm good now.
So
I'm good to talk.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Episode
We can
9
stay focused.
was
The Strange Alliances.
Strange Alliances.
Which
Or Strange Allies, maybe.
Strange Allies, maybe.
Strange
I don't
Allies.
know. It was really good.
It was amazing.
I think they're both amazing. But
Yes, and
we are going to say linear in this video.
I want to say,
never do.
I do want to say thank you very much, Disney, for deciding to release them together, because watching those separate would have been agonizing.
Yes.
Having to wait that long to see.
Although
would
the
have
cutoff
sucked.
of 9 would have been amazing for a week. Have been like, what's
Yes.
gonna happen?
9 was, it was a fight almost the entire time.
Everyone was on there. Yeah, the Inquisitors were right on them the whole time.
The Inquisitors were tracking them almost right away. We get a small break in between from 8 to 9 when Maul catches up to his people. They just called Dryden Voss. They've got a plan, and now they have to team up the gray guys, I guess, with the good guys. Is Maul gray? Would you say? Is his team bad guys too? Because they're bad guys, just separate bad guys.
I don't know.
The bad guys in this episode are definitely the Inquisitors and
for sure.
and the Imps.
I think to us, the audience, they are gray.
Okay.
I think in universe, I would consider them bad.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I think in universe,
And that's what Donkey is too. He's like, it's bad and other bad, but not as bad.
But I mean, I think in universe, so I'd also probably consider Han Solo bad in the beginning.
No.
Han Solo in A New
right.
Hope, I would consider
He's a selfish prick.
bad.
He's not a bad guy.
He's a smuggler
So?
who smuggles illegal drugs
Well, he smuggles all kinds of
into
stuff.
planets. He smuggles spice, which is drugs.
Okay. They don't ever say he's a spice runner. They say he's a smuggler. It's a little bit
He's
different.
talked about the Kessel Run, which the Kessel Run is the spice routes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
But that's what they used it for. They were smuggling gas, remember? Unrefined... Oh, what the hell was that stuff called?
what does that refine into?
Gas.
No. Yes, it is gas.
Yeah,
And they
remember what it
use
was.
that to make the spice, I thought.
No, it was to run the ships. That's like in the sequel trilogy. They're out of gas.
Oh, I don't care.
It's all gas stuff.
But, gray, I guess, for us, the audience, to answer your question.
So, but anyway, they're getting together, and Maul does the coolest thing. Maul sends a message to Devon through a fitful dream, manipulating the Source to send her vision, which is kind of cool.
Which, that then retroactively seems to... Because if he learned how to do that,
From Sidious.
presumably from Sidious,
Sidious was the one sending all the images to
Anakin about Padme.
Padme. Yeah, I heard all this.
Oh,
And
okay.
so he was manipulating Anakin all along. And I'm like, that's nothing new. We knew he was manipulating Anakin all along. From the very moment that the Jedi brought baby Anakin to the planet and he's introduced to him, he could sense the midichlorians. There's theory that he might have been the one who tried to manipulate the midichlorians to begin with, to try to create life, and the midichlorians...
Is that not just known?
By whom?
Is that
No,
not a fact?
In comics they said, because they said that there was an idea that maybe the Emperor was his father. Then there's ideas that because the Emperor was messing with the midichlorians, the Force responded by creating Anakin, and so the Force is truly... So they haven't come out one way or another, I don't think, officially, and said this is what happened.
Yeah, okay.
But they keep throwing in these little things like, we saw Anakin having those nightmares. We saw Anakin learning about his mother's death. We saw Anakin, and every one of those things pushed him farther and farther to the dark side. So that could have been information that was being leaked to him by Sidious. You know, it is, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the show we watched.
Mhm.
And in the show we watched, Devin is getting messages from Maul, and it wasn't, oh, this is a bad thing that could happen. It was, this is where I want you to be. So she saw the image of the statue. She saw the image of the courtyard. She described it, and Lawson knew where she was talking about. So that's where they meet him, and they pull the, do you think this is a trap? I don't know. It's in his best interest too. So at the moment they end up all together, working together, but they're hunted by the Inquisitors, and we got confirmation that it is the
11th brother.
Okay, yes.
Not the 5th.
Right, the 11th brother is what it says. So the people who were saying last week, oh, that's the 6th or 5th or whatever it was, they were wrong, and it is the 11th. So that was nice.
I may be confused,
Okay.
but it is my understanding that in the Ahsoka book, it is the 11th brother.
The book doesn't matter, though, because they made that cartoon.
But that's supposed to be canon. And so then they made the Tales of the Jedi,
Right.
which came after.
And that overrode, right?
That's supposed to. But then people, to make that both canon, were saying that one was the 6th brother.
Okay.
So with the 6th and then the 11th.
I see.
It
So
might
she supposedly
be...
killed 2?
Yes, the exact same way.
So she had the same story twice.
No,
in
except
two
in the
different
book,
places.
she uses the overload sky crystal to explode and kills him that way.
Oh.
Which is cooler.
Well, and in this, I kind of liked that she healed a bloodied crystal and turned it white. That was neat.
So, if it is that way, if the book is the 11th brother, then the book is no longer canon.
Okay.
If the book is the 6th brother, then they can both be canon. Because I don't know.
But could you say that the book is a story of Ahsoka being told by someone else, and so some of the facts might be a little off?
You could conversely say that for the same thing for the Tales.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So the story is still the same. It's just some of the details are a little off.
But we know for a fact that the 11th brother, who also is called like the Crow in a lot of places, because we don't know who he is.
Right, and that's what they refer to him as that a couple of times in I don't think they did in this.
They don't refer to that in the show, but they I think Creekrush refers to him as that.
Yeah.
But also
But he also thought he was the
the sixth. But I've heard that that's what they say in Lucasfilm proper. They refer to him as the Crow because that's what the skull. But we know for a fact the Crow is Hail the Jedi and here. We know it's the same person.
The cool thing that we saw.
He just looks cool. I like him.
Before when the Inquisitors are still hunting before they get on the actual trail, we do have that scene where once they all get together, Lawson leads them to a power plant because the way out of the city is underneath in the tunnels or whatever.
Oh,
and we have an awesome battle there.
So Maul has Spybot take out their comms and jams them.
Right.
And then after that's gone, Maul's like, okay, I'm good to go. And he drags it along the ground just to get attention. And then
it looked very Turtle-esque, really, from with dragging this one.
Yeah, and then it just kind of takes everyone out pretty much.
Well, the Jedi follow eventually, but he takes out a walker by himself.
He cuts off the leg of one of the walkers,
amazing.
Of the walker, then turns around and throws his lightsaber back up into the back. Which was in all the trailers. I had seen that before.
Seen it.
I had saw that before. I was trying to avoid all the trailers.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything.
I had seen that one scene of him cutting off a leg and then throwing it back and hitting it and blowing up the thing. I've been seeing that back in March.
Well, if we could find that somewhere, that'd be a good thumbnail for this. It was awesome.
It was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just cool.
That was one of the highlights of episode 9.
It was very, very cool.
And then we see Lawson's kid pick up a blaster and use it. And there's a little bit of an interaction between Lawson and
Riley.
Riley
only uses the sun setting.
He did use a stun.
He is also the only character doing that.
Yes.
Even Two Boots is using lethal force. Yes. But it was interesting to see that his father talked to him about shooting. And so there's backstory hinted at there of a past where Lawson taught his kid, self-defense, how to use a gun safety, obviously, with him using the stun setting. We know Lawson's first name, don't we? Brander Lawson.
Yeah. So they all end up together. They go down into the tunnels. Two Boots is still struggling with his new identity.
This acid lake.
Yeah, they go through this. They go through this weird underground thing that's used to smuggle stuff in, and Lawson knew it because he brought people here, and now he's a fugitive, so he's got it. That was kind of an interesting thing. But they get to this point where there's this like underwater like cavern with a lake, and in the lake it's become really acidic because of toxic sludge being illegally dumped from the city. And Two Boots' response is, "I'll have to report this immediately." He's like, "Oh wait, no, I don't."
There are bigger priorities at the moment.
And at that moment, all of a sudden, the Jedi respond, Maul responds, they turn around, and then we see the Inquisitors have arrived, and they come at them full
fast.
I mean, it is awesome.
It is very fast.
The lightsabers that have looked like they've been on
amazing.
fire actually seem to have the flames streaking backwards. There's the fight scene in this underground cavern is some of the best.
There's an awesome
lightsaber choreography,
like 5-way lightsaber thing,
yes,
where it's like Devin hits half the Inquisitor blade, which is against Maul,
yes,
which the other half is against Maul, and then against Maul's other half against the other half of the different Inquisitor, and then that other half against Donkey, and it's all a circle.
It's so
it's
cool.
super cool.
It
and then
is some of the best it's interesting because every time we see a lightsaber duel in this show, it's like, wow, that's the best thing we've ever seen. And then the next episode, oh wow, that's even better. That's the best thing we've. So it just tops itself over and over and over again. It was so amazing. There is not enough praise to be sung about the visuals of this show.
It is it's amazing.
It is the best looking animation we've ever seen in Star Wars.
If that became standard animation style for literally everything, I would be okay with that.
That should be the bar now. Everything should have to rise to that. And you know it's based off of the same animation. It's a advancement and adaptation, the genesis of, right? It's moving forward from the Clone Wars animation. And if you look at Clone Wars animation from season 1 through season 7, you see it adapt and get better and better and better as it grows. And now we're peak. I mean, this is beautiful. It's easily the best looking thing that Star Wars has ever done. And story wise, we're also very close to one of the best. It is in the top, for sure. It's in the top. I'd say 3, if not the top. And I've seen all the Star Wars stuff. I know you haven't seen everything yet. I mean, story-wise,
I gotta see. I mean, Andor maybe can compete, and I haven't seen Acolyte, which isn't going to compete.
Acolyte's not good.
And then I haven't seen All Skeleton Crew, which I don't think is going to be able to compete.
No, it was good, but it wasn't.
And that's
wasn't
it. I've watched everything else. I'm fairly caught up. I'm behind on comics and everything. I haven't read.
But Andor is one of the greatest Star Wars achievements ever. And if they keep pushing and pushing and pushing, it'll be nice to see what they do with the live action stuff, because people are worried. Well, we're not gonna.
We can talk about that after if we want to. But in the future, we want to keep talking about this.
So episode 9.
So as we're not done with this part yet,
right, episode 9 we get to that lake thing.
Because Maul and Docky and Devin are all holding off the 2 Inquisitors, Spybot's controlling the
little skiff thing
to bring them back and forth, because to get across you have to be like 2 at a time.
The skiff thing kind of looks like the ones that they use on Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith,
but much smaller. I feel.
I don't know. Those were pretty tiny when they were on the.
I guess, yeah, because it's only like, yeah.
But these are older and they're less maintained, so that's why we need Spybot.
And you have all
the first one they find doesn't work.
Yes.
So he's got to go across, grab one, bring it back.
Yeah.
And then they go across 2 at a time, right?
Yeah, which is nice because we see Riley and Lawson get like a moment of whatever, which is nice.
We start to see
we get no touchy, which I love so much. Yes. When Riley bumps Spybot, he's like, no touchy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you know they're having this emotional moment, and then the Spybot's like
gross.
Yeah, he's not.
He's
impressed.
Like gagging.
So it's really interesting because we see that type of interaction. We see there are lots of places where like, okay, is this where Maul's gonna screw over Docky? And nope. And it's awesome because then Maul's like, okay, you 2 go first. He's the one that's kind of assigning who's going and when they're going. And so we see the fall of one of the Mandalorians here, right?
Yep, he gets shot several times.
He's one of the first guys to go down.
And he gets shot into the acid, and he falls backwards. Then we see, unfortunately, the death of Icarus.
First Cass and the other Mandalorian are the next 2 over.
Are the next 2 over, yeah.
So they're shooting from cover on one side, trying to give them cover.
Yeah.
But the Inquisitors have brought a lot of Imperial troops.
And then we skipped over Two Boots and Vario passed out, which was like a fun dynamic because like Two Boots, the very like code, and then Vario's like the gangster.
Yeah.
And they pass together. And then we have the cast and Mandalorian. And then Mandalorian dies.
Who says, at some point in time, somebody looks at Vario and says, I'm surprised you're still alive. And I'm like, that's what everybody in the audience feels. I don't remember who said it. I'm not even sure exactly
Lawson says, I'm pretty sure Lawson says that to Vario when they're all walking together.
Okay.
Because that's the next time
I just
when
wanted
they
to
meet
bring
up.
up that quote.
I'm pretty sure Lawson turns to Vario and is like, I'm surprised you're still alive.
Yeah.
And I think he says, so am I, or whatever, or something too.
Yeah. And because it's like, oh,
and it's like, everyone's like, you're still alive. Like,
he was number one on my checkbox to not make it.
Oh, for sure.
And then of course we have the Mandalorians that aren't named. We knew they weren't gonna last. And this is where we lose one, like I said, right there.
Right there in the acid.
And that's because we're down to 2 plus Cass at this point. And
now we're down to 1 plus
he dies, so Cass went over with the other one.
And then we have, so now, not yet fully crossed over, which Spybot doesn't really count because he's going back and forth.
Right.
So we have Spybot, Maul, Daki, Devin, and Icarus the Zabrak.
Right, the Zabrak warrior guy.
Who...
He's awesome.
Is awesome.
I mean, very awesome.
He
we're
does
talking
not
about pulling
it.
passes. Nobody's pulling punches here. We're seeing headshots on these Imperial Stormtrooper guys. The Zabrak dude, he goes down fighting, like, big time.
He gets shot, like, 10 plus times.
Yeah.
Keeps going. Throws
his
three daggers into 3 different Stormtrooper helmets.
They kind of look like little mini bat wings.
Yes.
Like from Batman.
Then charges at them and takes down all 3 into acid, which kills him too.
And he doesn't even scream. It was awesome.
It was
but
very
Maul
cool.
reacts.
Maul reacts a lot.
And when he turns on, because they're in the middle of a fight, and he still takes the time to throw his double-bladed lightsaber to go and cut, like 3 or 4 of the Stormtrooper guys in half.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it comes back to him, and he's ready to fight again. It was so good. And you can tell.
One wish I wish we had is do you remember not Book of Boba Fett, in Mandalorian season 2 when Boba Fett shows up and he has his staff, the one, and it's like shattering the helmet to Stormtroopers, and we if we had saw shards come out of where the knives hit, and like shards of white, that would have been really cool.
Kind of neat. But I mean, how detailed?
How detailed do we really need it to be? That's fair.
But I mean,
it would have been cool.
Though, the thing to remember, our guys are desperate right now, right? I mean, they're screwed.
Yeah.
We have 3 of them are still over here fighting the 2 Inquisitors. Plus, you've still got all these Imperial troopers, and they're shooting across the way. We got all the rest of the good guys who are over there, except the 2 that didn't. The Mandalorian didn't make it. The Zabrak guy didn't make it. And all of a sudden, they're like, what are we going to do? And these Inquisitor guys are pressing and pressing and pressing. So all of a sudden, Maul says...
First, Spybot gets involved and shoots at Merrick, the first brother.
Spybot's... And then we see...
And in response to that, Merrick throws his
double-bladed lightsaber and slices
Spybot
about a third of Spybot off.
In half.
Not quite in half. Like a third of him disappears. And his last words
is master.
As he
sounds like a sad puppy.
He falls apart and falls into the acid, and that is the end of Spybot. And I gotta say, I will miss him more than I will miss the Zabrak guy. I will miss him more than he was my. I really hoped he was.
I liked Spybot a lot.
He to me, even more than Rook Cass. He was Maul's right hand.
Spybot feels like Chopper to me in the sense that he's just a chaotic little mischievous bot who I love so much.
And that's an interesting thing because a lot of people think that Chopper is a vicious war criminal.
For sure.
And Spybot's got the same kind of personality, so that's kind of cool.
I feel like they're very similar.
I sort of hope that they design a Spybot that we can make at Disney sometime, or we're in the Droid Factory. It'd be cool if we saw that as an option.
The problem is the scale because he's bigger than like their heads.
Well, it would be the same size. What's the rolling one you made? You made a BB-8, right?
It's not big. I think Spybot to scale is like on par with like the R2 droids.
Oh, you think he's that big?
He's like a big disc.
Okay.
I think.
But even still, they make R2 droids.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't care if they bring the scale down to the fact who's that one that sits on Cal Kestis' shoulders? because they had those
BB-1.
Right, they're not the kind you make, but they're the kind you can buy those little guys, and so even if it was something like that, that'd be cool.
But so back to the show, and so then obviously with Spybot and Maul's reaction, is amazing.
Well, and if you think about it too, he dies halfway across, so now the skiff that they need to cross is halfway between.
Because they've already said
it's too far to leap.
It's not that it's too far to leap, it's that the ceiling's too low that they can't leap.
Yes.
Because they can't get the height to also get the distance. Right. Which makes sense. Because when they show the wide shot, it's like, well, this doesn't seem
nice to see physics mixed in with Jedi magic.
Yeah.
Because it's got limits, and it was nice to see.
It was nice because it's like, well, why couldn't they just? Because they show the wide shot, it's like, well, this isn't that far. But it's like the ceiling's too low, and it's like that makes sense because they always jump high to get across.
Yep.
So that helped a lot, I felt, and but so Maul loses it.
Yeah.
He tells so Devin goes first. Then
he tells Devin to go,
and so Devin jumps on the handle of the skiff and then jumps across.
Yes.
And then she is holding up the skiff to keep it in place. And then Docky crosses. And Maul splits his saber in two.
So right now Maul's fighting both Inquisitors on his own.
But he doesn't seem to be struggling at all.
No.
Because he is angry.
Unleashed. He's ticked.
He seemed more upset about Spybot than he did about anybody else.
Well, Cass made it at this point. And the Zabrak guy, he's just one of his soldiers. You know, he's not like related like Savage was.
Well, those last two, I guess I've heard in the Sons of Dathomir because I watch all the Screen Crusher stuff.
Yeah.
Those two were like on orders by Mother Taliesin to like follow him.
She told everybody who's left to follow Maul because Maul was going to.
And so those are like, but those two were brothers, so it reminded him of him and Savage.
They're fanatic followers of Maul.
Well, Mother Taliesin is essentially their religious leader,
right?
And so they'll do whatever. Like,
I want to get that comic. We have to buy that. But when the thing is, skill level. And this is one of the things I watched something from Screen Crush, and they were talking about how Maul is the only classic trained. Like I asked you while we were watching it, what level would Maul be if he was a Jedi? And he'd be like older. He'd be a master, probably somebody sitting on the council. That's his skill level. It's like Jedi Council Master level. Only in the Sith.
Yeah.
Because he was classically trained by the most powerful Sith Lord in existence at this moment in time.
Yeah, if we assume Maul is at the exact same, which could fluctuate a little bit, because on the one hand, you wouldn't have the outright power immediately because dark side is more easy power.
True.
But then if you're more light side, you'd be able to get more over time.
But experience-wise, too.
If we say
of course,
Maul,
for 12 years, he was living in some kind of animalistic cannibal thing.
Except would that help Bill's connection to the Force because he was learning through all of that?
It could.
But so if we assume Maul is at the exact same level of power, just on the light side.
Right.
He is on par with Jedi Masters.
Right. Yeah. Well, we saw Sidious kill 3, and then with Anakin's help, get rid of Windu.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, that's his.
He couldn't beat Windu. He couldn't beat Yoda.
He couldn't beat him by himself, and he
Maul couldn't beat Yoda or Windu. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Maul.
Sidious couldn't beat Maul.
Yeah. Maul couldn't beat Obi-Wan, but
skill level he might have, but he got overconfident and cocky.
I think come Rebels, that's true.
Okay, he stood toe to. Oh yeah, but this is not Rebels yet.
I think.
You think right now Obi-Wan is still better than him?
I think so.
Okay.
I think Obi-Wan is only worse
because they've met a couple of times in the Clone Wars. They fought a couple of times since.
I think Obi-Wan is only worse duel-wise due to age because of being just older and can't move as well.
Right. Well,
because he's a human.
Right.
Or whatever the human species is called in Star Wars.
The Witch Mother's magic in him still too. So
yeah,
he's a little bit enhanced there. But these two Inquisitor guys, they're way much lower down on the power scale and the ranking scale and the experience scale even. You know.
Yeah.
So I think if it had been 1-on-1, Maul would have killed the Inquisitor. But with 2-on-1, they have a chance not to die.
Although I do think it goes to show...
they are pushing him
I do think it shows how powerful Ahsoka is
when it is definitely a Padawan, correct?
Right. Yes.
But she is a very skilled Padawan. But so
one of the things they mentioned in the dueling that happens in 9 and 10 with the episode with the sabers, it talks about the experience that her and her master must have had during the Clone Wars because of the way their moves enhance each other.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that they're experienced and they're good working here.
I think it's also implied as well that surviving Jedi consider for Padawans surviving Order 66 as their trials for knighthood or whatever.
Okay. So
that's how Kanan's considered a knight or whatever, I think.
Okay.
Like that. But so let's say Devin just a Padawan still.
Okay.
So a Padawan, a Jedi Master, not Knight, Master Daki, and Darth Maul, who I guess not full power, but still because he's hurt leg.
Right.
And Daki's injured as well the whole time from Maul's attack in the beginning. Which I think those are very important caveats to take note of when talking about this. But those three hold their own just fine, but aren't making ground against the Inquisitors.
That's true.
In any fight. Whereas Ahsoka, we know, presumably sometimes, like somewhat shortly after this, semi-shortly, like within like 2 to 3 years probably, I think, will kill the Crow in 3 moves with no weapon.
Right.
And in like 20 years, we'll kill Merrick in like 2 moves.
Right.
With a weapon, but still.
We know Ahsoka's powerful.
Although, with caveat there being Merrick is undead, not necessarily himself. He wouldn't be in control of himself. But still, she kills both of these characters
we also know,
very quickly when they have a fight.
We also know that in the future from now, we know that when Luke is building his Jedi Temple, Ahsoka doesn't feel she has much to learn there. She's there to help put it together, but she's not becoming a student. Luke doesn't have much to teach her.
I thought that was apparent. I think she could teach Luke things.
I do too, because she is a classically trained Jedi. She was Anakin's Padawan. She studied in the Jedi Temple. She knows all their stuff. Luke is putting stuff together from old journals, ghost training from Ben, training a little bit in the swamp at Dagobah, but he never completed it. You know what I mean? So, and he ends up becoming like the most powerful Jedi. So she has said, "I'm not a Jedi." She's beside that, but she's still got that kind of training. And she fought both of those, whatever those guys were, in her series, the ones with the orange lightsabers.
I
what
don't
do they
know.
call themselves?
I don't know.
It
was a bad show.
No,
they were like
don't say,
mercenaries or something.
it
was.
There was
nothing redeeming. There was no. The only redeeming qualities of that show was that Chopper was made perfect because you can't mess up Chopper.
Right.
That was it.
I don't know.
Everything else was bad. Hera not being trusted by the government was
weird.
Stupid.
But
it was stupid. Sabine Force Sensitive was stupid. Ahsoka abandoning Sabine for being too stubborn was stupid. Everything about that show, Sabine giving over the coordinates for Ezra, to find Ezra, was stupid and downplays his entire sacrifice from the end of season 4. Every single part of that show was completely stupid and ruined the characters of that show.
The logic leaps to try to connect it to Rebels actually hurt it more than helped it, because
every single thing in that show was bad. And the Balin Skull stuff, while being somewhat interesting, was underdeveloped and half-baked.
Right.
And the stuff with Thrawn was rushed. And the Morgan Elsbeth stuff was rushed. And the Night Sister stuff, all that was rushed because they were trying to do that plus the Balin Skull stuff. Right. And then they both weren't fully done. They didn't even have anybody at the final planet with Thrawn until episode 7 out of 8. And so all that was rushed, and it was bad, and I don't want to talk about this show. Okay. Move back to Maul, because that's the good show.
Well, right. But Maul, okay, so...
Ahsoka was the worst thing to ever happen in all of Star Wars, and I will stand by that forever.
The Acolyte was worse.
I haven't watched it, but
okay. And Ahsoka's getting a season 2, and it's the future of Star Wars.
I would rather watch The Last Jedi 50 times in a row than watch Ahsoka season 1. So... It was awful. I can make a whole rant.
We're not making that video right now. So back to where we are. Maul is holding off the 2 Inquisitors.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has to make a break. Because Maul has to join everybody else.
Yeah.
So what did you think? How did that look?
I don't know. I thought it was good. Okay. I loved everything.
It was so cool to see Maul make that leap. And when he lands, you can tell he's still wounded.
And he lands with double-bladed reverse grip.
Yes. His blades are separated at this point because he was fighting two people at once. When he jumps on, and the leap that he makes is just freaking cool. You know, I mean, it has to be seen. I mean, most of you have probably seen it. If you haven't seen it, go see that before you listen to us talk about it. But it was amazing. He lands on the thing, and then we get the whisper between the two of the Inquisitors that we think, oh, they got away, thank goodness, and they're running off. And the Inquisitors look at him and say, okay, let them know they're heading right for him.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole thing has been
leading into a trap.
So the Inquisitors, maybe they were holding back just a little bit. So maybe they're better than we think. Maybe they're better than we're giving them credit for. Or maybe they said, hey, if we kill him here, great. If we don't, we have this trap for a backup.
I think it was that because they don't see because they're not.
It
fighting.
was vicious if it was to be letting them go. I mean, we saw it, but I mean, we saw the same thing. We've seen this before. It was too easy to get away. This was not easy to get away.
If it was to let them go on purpose, they would not kill Spybot. I don't think.
Okay, and they definitely wouldn't have killed all of the people they killed.
No, because the stormtroopers shot the other two people.
Okay.
They only killed Spybot, but Spybot was their way of getting across,
Yes.
and they knew that and could see that, so they would not have killed Spybot if they wanted them to go get across.
But they didn't kill Spybot until everybody but the Jedi were over there. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they wanted to eliminate everybody on that side of the bridge, take out Spybot right away. They didn't do that.
They didn't take a Spybot until they started shooting at them.
Okay.
They only killed Spybot after Spybot shoots at Merrick, and then Merrick deflects that and then throws his blade at Spybot.
Yeah. Because they were giving him too much of an advantage. So, but okay, now we're over on the other side. We walk out of this. We get out of the city and we're going into this forested area. And who goes to check first?
The Mandalorians rush ahead. Both
Cass,
Mandalorians,
right?
Yeah.
They go running into the woods, and we hear something. It's like,
oh my god, it's so cool.
And
it's
it
like
sounds
a crunch.
Yes, there's
it's
a monster.
Like,
They made us think there was some kind of dinosaur in the woods, and he found these things and ate them. Right?
And then Rook comes running out, saying, "There's something in there."
Something in there, and then all of a sudden, it's as if something.
And then she gets
feet and
pulled
yanks
away,
her back, and we hear the most horrendous crunching sounds. I mean, we're talking nightmare fuel. It was awesome.
It sounds like audio from like a Jurassic Park movie.
Right. Because next, what do we see?
Vader walks out of the
Darth freaking Vader. We were so
amazing.
sure, Vader's not going to be in this series because he's off hunting Obi-Wan and we can't have Vader fight Maul. But oh my God, when he walks out, the visuals that we've all spoken up on of this whole series all the way, now we have an animated Vader that I swear to God looks like it could have been an actor standing on set. It was so realistic looking. And
I want to see more fights now in like mist and fog areas.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Dude, suddenly Vader's there. We hear the breathing. We see the lightsaber and the music. Oh my God, you get chills when the music is the callback to the Imperial. I mean, it's Vader's theme. It's the Imperial stuff. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And then what happens?
Episode ends.
It's like, oh no! Which is, like I said, thank God they released both at once because that would have been a painful moment to have to turn off the TV and.
But it would have been awesome.
We wouldn't have been able to stop.
We would have come down here and been like, so everybody's dead.
Right.
Everybody's gonna die. No one makes out in that season 2.
I would have been late for work. I would have let you skip school. We would have come down here right away. It's like, oh, we got to go watch it as soon as it drops because it was that good. If we had known what was waiting for us, we wouldn't have waited so late to watch it yesterday. We would have been like, okay, we just get back from the doctor. your test is whatever. When your mom gets home, you'll get your meds. Let's go watch this. You know what I mean? But it was Vader, and which kind of it changes when Merrick called a couple episodes ago and said when he was talking about when he said the words "my master," he had to have been talking
my
to
lord
Vader, or "my lord." That was the cloak figure we saw.
Which also, in retrospect, also just makes the most sense because he's the only ever called Lord.
Okay.
He's the only character called Lord. It's Lord Vader. It's not Lord Sidious.
Yeah, because they don't say.
They say Darth Sidious.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
Or they call him my master. But
yeah,
this is.
but
he can't break the two, so he can't call him my master.
Yeah,
because they're not apprentices.
Yeah. They never say Lord Sidious.
Okay.
They say Darth Sidious.
Okay.
They say Lord Maul. Some like before, but it obviously was talking about Maul or to Maul. Right. They wouldn't say Lord Inquisitor. Yeah. Or whatever.
But Vader's here.
With retrospective, that makes it was obvious.
Now we have a real fight. We have 2 Jedi and Maul versus Vader, and everybody else cut and run. They're gone.
I think this also helps my case as to why Devin is a knight, not a Padawan.
Okay.
Or at this point in time, because Devin doesn't die immediately.
Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. This is Vader, just a year as Vader. I mean, he's been doing some stuff, but he's still getting used to the suit.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean,
There's a series of Vader comics that we don't own, but I know about, where it's like his origins and stuff. He's fought and killed like powerful Jedi Masters already to get his crystal to be able to have a red lightsaber.
Okay.
He is very adjusted to his body right now.
Right. Well, this fight though, oh my goodness, this is Vader. This is scary Vader. This is Vader more scary than the hallway scene in Rogue One.
Not if you were in that hallway.
True, but this is scary freaking Vader. He is fighting 2 Jedi and Maul, primarily one-handed. I mean, the first part of this fight, he looks freaking bored. He's playing with him. It's a cat with 3 mice. And the cat knows he's going to eat all 3. He is uber confident. He is on track. And it's awesome. And then, as this fight's happening, we're moving farther and farther into the field where they're supposed to meet. What's his name? Voss is coming. And then the 2 Inquisitors show up. So we've got Vader plus 2 Inquisitors fighting the 3 people who could barely keep off the 2 Inquisitors. And it is not going to. I mean, at this point in time, we're like, okay, is he just gonna? He can't kill them all, but maybe he will kill everybody else. You know, it was amazing. The fight lasted. This was a 25-minute episode, and
the fight is the entire time.
That 20 minutes of this episode are that fight. We see a little bit of some shooting stuff going on.
I mean, 25 minutes included credits, so I'd probably say 15.
Okay.
But still, most of the episode.
Yeah, 90% of this episode is Darth Vader fighting or adapting to fight these 3 people.
Do you want any particular call-outs of the fight you want to... Any particular moments that you want to call out about the fight, or just the fight in general?
I think that, not necessarily just the fight, but the moments in between. When you have Maul talking to Daki, talking about how they have to beat this thing, how they fight this thing. Because when they first leave, Devin's like, what is that? Mm-hmm. Right? Because that's nothing they've ever fought before.
And Daki seems to almost be considering agreeing with Maul. Not necessarily like...
He wants to do defensive. Maul's like, no, he has to be aggressive.
And he's not going to change that stance, but it seems like his face almost is conveying that he knows is not going to work.
I think what he's worried about is that he's afraid that Devin's going to start listening to Maul. He already knows there's a connection. He knew there was a connection in the last episode because she was able to receive the dream message from Maul. He didn't send it to Daki. He sent it to Devin. And because of that, he realizes there's something going on between Devin and Maul. There's some sort of connection there. And she trusted him during that battle in the train thing. She saves his life. He saves her life. They fight together. Then they get away. And that forms not quite some sort of bond, right? There's a tie to each other there. So Daki's worried about that. Daki's worried that his training is not going to serve her for her future because I think he sees he's not going to be part of it. Mm-hmm. I think he knows. I think the minute that Vader showed up and destroyed the Mandalorian and Cass, I think he knew he was going to die. And so his thing is, how do I get Devin out of here? How do I get these people that we put in danger out of here? You know, what do I do? Because the Jedi are... He is a passive Jedi. He passive, defensive. They roll with the flow. They know that tyranny won't ever win in the long run and eventually, but he is worried about Devin and where she falls in with eventually. I think that's what's going on.
some of the fight scenes when Devin is working on when the fight breaks into bits and Devin's fighting the Inquisitors 2-on-1.
And holding her own.
And holding her. She's not instantly killed.
Which showing, again, what was going on in the last episode.
And now we have Daki. Well, you can also tell she's experimenting with her, allowing her emotions to lead.
It also is showing
she's taking some of Maul's advice here.
It's also helping to show that how injured Daki and Maul really are.
Yes.
If they were all holding their own against 2, and now she, with a little bit more power from the dark side, is also now holding her own.
Yes.
Showing just how badly Daki and Maul are injured at this point.
Well, and we've seen the Inquisitors and Vader at this point have taken advantage of those wounds. We've seen Maul get hit in that same leg several times during this huge battle. But we also see Daki trying to work with Maul to fend off this thing that he doesn't know what it is. And Maul's like, you gotta listen to me, you gotta do it this way. And Daki's still hesitant, But there's one part where he sees Devin struggling, so he throws his lightsaber to her. And she's got 2 blue lightsabers going against the 2 double-bladed.
And she catches it, and it seems like this is clear something they've done before.
And that's what I was talking about, the experience that they've had during the Clone Wars together. You can kind of tell, especially when now Maul's got his double blades fighting Vader, and Vader's not phased. I mean, he's not going anywhere, but he's not phased yet either. And he hits Vader at that point, I think, doesn't he? Vader takes a hit.
Hits Vader.
It was
Daki hits Vader in the shoulder a little bit.
So that's before he throws the saber.
No, after, because then he walks up after.
All right, because then they meet in the middle.
And she just casually hands it back.
Yeah, while she's fighting, he's just okay, right here, and goes with it. That was really cool.
After she went back into the ruins and they split off and they're on the... So they're up in the air, are they not? Was I understanding it correctly?
It seemed like they were on a...
It seemed like they're higher up.
Sort of bridge, yeah.
High up comparatively to the Lawsons who are lower down.
Yeah. Well, they left. They're not at the ruin anymore. They went running off into the woods.
So, okay. I'm going to say to my understanding what happened, because I'm, through other videos, don't know if I'm correct anymore.
Okay.
The Lawsons and Two Boots and Varda, I'm just going to call them the Lawsons because it's easier.
Fine.
They stay on the ground and go towards the landing site.
Yes.
Whereas,
into the woods.
So like, if it's here, they go this way and stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas the Maul, I'm just going to say Maul and the 2 go up a hill this way with Vader to ruins.
See what I thought.
That's what, because then they were on that bridge thing that I thought was high up.
When they started, when he's coming out of the swamp or whatever, and it's all fog, the Lawsons, Two Boots, and Vario run down a hill. Yeah, right there.
They run down a hill. Right. I thought they ran up a hill.
And these guys, it seems like, start to bring Vader across whatever that narrow thing is, and that's where all the ruins were. And then you see the planes flying behind them and come out this way.
Okay, I thought we were down, so I thought they went up. But
I think they ran straight while the other guys went down.
Either way, they're low, we're high.
Yes.
Okay, that was what I thought too.
Devin and the Inquisitors end up even higher because you see them like do that jump thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's stairs going up to where they are, and it's some kind of ruin thing. Look, it reminded me a lot of like Roman ruins.
I'll bring it up in a minute as to why I now thought I was wrong.
But when they're all on that bridge and they're fighting back and forth, that's where we start to see Vader get angry.
Yeah, after Daki gets that hit on his shoulder, Vader stops holding back.
Because I mean, for a little while, we see Vader doing cool stuff with force powers. Like he throws Devin a couple of times. He throws Daki. Daki gets kind of hurt. It looks
Daki gets ragdolled a lot.
Yeah. So, but then we see him start to use his saber two-handed,
and then it's awesome. So Maul tries to stab, and he force freezes it.
Yes,
which
he catches.
We have only ever seen that happen in the sequels.
Yes,
which the one credit I'll give those movies is that idea in a duel is cool.
Right.
The way that they did it usually looks bad because the choreography was awful, but the idea of force freezing the blade is kind of cool. Again, it assumes the person freezing the blade is stronger in the force than you are.
Kenobi and Vader do that in their duel too, in the Kenobi series? I thought they did it.
Maybe they did, but if they did, that would have been after the sequels anyway. But it also assumes that the person freezing the blade is stronger in the force than you are, otherwise they would be able to force past that.
Right.
But, so Vader freezes Maul's saber. and then swings at Maul, and then Maul freezes his saber.
Yep.
But then...
And again, Vader knows who Maul is.
Vader knows, yeah.
Maul does not necessarily know who Vader is.
Not at this moment, I don't think. I think he'll figure it out.
He should have some clues.
He should be able to figure it out.
Because when he was trying to set up the whole thing, he knew.
He should have every reason to be able to figure it out, but he does not. He should not know it yet.
Okay. But he could suspect. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know what this thing is. He just knows how it fights and who trained it.
Yes.
And that's the thing. He knows who was going to be his replacement. So that's why I'm saying he could very easily figure who this guy is.
He very much should have every reason to be able to figure it out. Yes. And every means to be able to figure it out in the future.
Yeah.
At this moment in the fight, he wouldn't be able to have done that this fast.
Right. And this is, like we said before, whatever Vader's been doing, like you said, he's been off on some, it's been kept hush-hush. It isn't widely known. So Sidious being, or Emperor Palpatine being Darth Sidious and a Sith Lord isn't even wide known.
But Maul
says that. Maul says that a couple of times during this fight. And it's like, whoa, all these people have to die because this isn't supposed to be known by everybody. But Vader is new. They don't know what he is. And Maul recognizes, it's like knowing light. He knows this is a Sith Lord that he's fighting. Because that's what he was becoming. Or what he is. They've never met before. This is power on a scale in the Sith that we've never seen. There is a rule in the Sith. The rule of two. You don't have two super powerful beings. You have one super powerful being and one soldier that works for the super powerful being.
Who will either kill that master or be replaced.
And now we have two of the people who were one of, I mean, they may be on par of growing in power enough where they could take over the Emperor. If these two could come together and be like, wow, we could overthrow Sidious, the whole universe would have just switched. Can you imagine Vader and Maul teamed up, taking out Sidious and becoming the Sith Dyad or whatever the heck? I mean,
the Master Apprentice.
Right.
The problem is they both want to be the Master.
They both want to be the Master, yes.
But, okay, now that brings up an interesting question. Do you think the Inquisitors have a secondary thing from Sidious where if, let's say Maul kills Vader, then what? Does Maul become Sidious's new
I don't think
new thing?
Sidious gave up on Maul. If Vader were to die, Sidious, being Sidious, has got a replacement already in mind. It might even be one of the Inquisitors.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. When Maul was working for Sidious, he already had Dooku in the wings, doing stuff for him. He was already corrupting him. He had already got him to kill off Sifo-Dyas, to get the clone thing going, to hide Kamino. All that happened while Maul was still alive. He was manipulating Dooku if he needed to activate a new replacement for Maul. And once he met Anakin, he knew Anakin was going to be his apprentice, and these other two were throwaway tools. That's all he has ever seen any of them as. Even Vader. We know that later in life, that's what he wants Luke to do, is kill Vader and become the new Vader. You know, he's going to become the new apprentice. So it's not like Sidious not to have a backup on his backup plan already. So if Vader had died, I'm pretty sure he would have just activated somebody else.
Unless, does Sidious know that Anakin Skywalker's kids are still alive?
I don't know if he knows at this point. I don't know
when would he figure that out?
When did he figure it out?
When would he know? Because he knows before the original trilogy, presumably.
No.
He's the one that tells Vader that it's Anakin Skywalker's son.
Right, but he didn't know about Anakin Skywalker being on Tatooine, or else something would have already. And he didn't know that Leia was his daughter. He knew that
Vader. I'm not saying Vader knows. I'm saying that Palpatine knows.
I don't think Palpatine knows right now. I think whatever Yoda and Ben did to fake Padme, or to fake that Padme was still pregnant when she died, I think it fooled the Emperor initially. I don't know when he finds out. Maybe I'm wrong. maybe the Emperor knows all along, but if the Emperor knew all along, why would he have left them alone?
I'm guessing he didn't know about the twins. I'm guessing but I think he knew about Luke to an extent where he knew he wanted Luke eventually in the future. Anakin, before Mustafar, had potential to be more powerful than anyone ever,
right?
Prior or in the past.
The suit the Emperor gives him starts to cut down his connection to the Force.
Well, also losing all the limbs,
right?
Cut off his midichlorians because they died.
Also can't, and he can't use Force lightning. He can't do
that because of the suit.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He could have done that without the suit. Even with the cut off bits, he could have done that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Force lightning only is because he's made of electricity. He can't channel lightning through electricity and metal equipment. That's not going to work.
But if he was a paraplegic with no legs and one arm, he could have done it.
I mean, Yoda can do it.
Yoda's got 2 arms and 2 legs, and
but Yoda's old, he's senile.
Bite your tongue.
Anakin.
Oh, Yoda's not senile.
If Anakin was prime Anakin, could kill prime Yoda.
Really? Okay.
I think easily.
Okay.
We never saw prime Anakin.
True. We never really saw Prime Yoda. He was already old. So we don't know how powerful he was back in the day.
That's true, but then why would Sidious? Never mind.
I mean, Palpatine had to hide.
Yeah,
for all those years because he was afraid. Well, because he didn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, there was. But I mean.
I'm not sure. I might have gone too far. Okay, move back to the show. Okay. Back to the show that we're talking about.
But with Vader and Maul fighting, I mean, this was raw hatred, and dark energy versus dark energy was so freaking amazing. And Maul knows. He's like, I can't win this.
Mm-hmm.
So he backs off. He sees Devin struggling against the 2 Inquisitors. In his mind, he makes that quick decision. Devin's the one that's more important.
Well, because there is the choice there.
And there is
the either, because there is the if he stays there with Daki, there is the chance that they might all make it.
Right.
If he trusts Devin and trusts Daki enough, if he trusts both of them enough, they might be able to make it.
But he's worried about Devin.
He's worried about Devin, and he
Devin
wants
is his objective.
Devin.
Yes, Devin
is
his
objective.
objective.
He knows if he does what he does with Daki, which we'll talk about that in just a second,
especially
then
since
he
they had
knows
that conversation.
He can keep Devin.
He told Daki, if the 2 of us go on the offensive, we can win. And Daki said, no, if the 2 of us defend each other, we can't lose. And there's a difference there, because for Daki's mind, not losing is getting away.
Which would have happened, I think.
I don't know, because when the 2 Inquisitors are fighting Devin and she slips and she starts to weaken, Maul sees it, Daki doesn't. So Daki is under the impression, Maul's going to do this my way, we're going to be defensive, we're going to go after Vader. And Maul realizes Daki's not going to do this my way. I can't convince him. He's a lost cause. But I have a foothold with this girl. So we get to...
So Maul pushes pushes Daki towards Vader. And so we stumble forward a bit into Vader. And then...
he runs.
And Maul runs to help Devin.
Yep.
And then Daki's still fighting Vader.
Oh, yeah.
He puts up a somewhat good fight.
He does. But now Vader does not have split focus.
And now it's a 1v1
and
against his master, who's very injured at this point. He's been thrown around like a rag doll all season.
He's beat up. He's tired. But he's not given up. But Vader overpowers, and we see Daki take a saber to the chest. It goes through him. We're reminded momentarily of Qui-Gon, especially since the music cues right before this were freaking coming back to Battle of the Fates, because now we're fighting
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates, because we're fighting over the
Devin's
future
fate.
of Devin.
And then Devin's also saying no like that, and her face and all that.
Devin sees Daki fall, freaks out, and gets angry. And
turns around, and who's there? The Crow.
Right.
Perfect outlet.
Yep. And so she fights and fights and fights. At one point, she loses her lightsaber.
She's disarmed by and it flies, and I think it falls too.
And she looks up, and there's Maul, her savior, who has his saber in half, and she pulls a piece of his saber to her, lights up, and now she's glowing in the red of anger. She's got tears running down her face because these monsters have now killed her master, and she's angry and frustrated, and she gives in to revenge and hatred and just goes nuts.
Nobody dies, though.
Until Maul steps in, because now we have 2 Inquisitors, Vader's coming, and there's just Maul, who's very wounded, limping at this point.
Because his leg has now been cut more, and so it's like half of the thing is...
It's exposed wiring, you see electrical sparks, he's limping. I mean, he's trying to channel anger to make it move more, but it's not working great.
Yeah.
So they pull down, he starts to pull down and tries to convince her, help me with this. And they put a barrier between the two of them and run. And you see Vader in there, and he's ticked, and rocks are coming at him, and he's like, move, move, move. I mean, he's force pushing all this stuff and ready to move in. And meanwhile, because that's where we kind of leave them for a moment. Meanwhile, we go back to everybody else.
And it had been intercutting throughout the thing. And, and we'll talk about more about any ramifications of that after.
So we're gonna jump over to the non-force using...
To the Lawsons.
Right.
And Vario. And
so
Two Boots.
They're stuck in the woods. They look over. They see 2 or 3 command ships dropping troopers.
Just one at the first time.
Okay.
One shows up the first time.
Okay. Well,
and then 2 more show up after. It
was the one that dropped off the Inquisitors and then flew over. And so they land, and they've got a freaking one of those
rotary
cannon things. And they're like, oh, we're screwed. They get a call from Voss. And Vario's like, oh, there's complicated. Voss like, I don't want to hear it. We're coming in, we're landing, we're picking you up, we're getting out of there. He's like, this is it. And his guys are like, should we really be doing this, or should we just bail on these guys? He's like, oh, no, the gamble will be worth it because we're going to get Maul, and Maul will help us get what we want, and everything will be great, and whatever. The reward is worth the risk, he says. So they're moving in, and meanwhile, Lawson's like, how are we going to get to this field? So they're like, Vario, go run away, and we'll sneak around, and they kill a bunch of the stormtrooper guys, or Riley's still stunning them.
Mm-hmm.
They use the cannon to shoot down the gunship.
Two Boots does it. Two Boots goes, so he takes the cannon. And was like
a
self-sacrifice moment,
gunship
but
dropped everybody out and then flies up to target and Vario's out there trying to be a distraction. So Two Boots is able to take down the gun, and they're like, "Sweet, we're okay."
And Vario's way of hyping himself up was really funny too.
Yes. I am really tall.
No, I am not. I am not small and very tall.
Right. And then we see 2 more gunships coming in.
It's like, oh, this isn't hope. Let's not.
So now there's troopers everywhere. They can't get to where they're trying to go, and I believe they're separated at this point.
It's Lawson over here, and then Two Boots with Riley. Because Two Boots had been like blown back when like the thing got shot, and so Riley went and got him, and so they're on one side, he's on the other side.
Yeah. So they're all hiding in the woods. You see occasional shots, but they're not making any kind of headway. And then when Voss's ship gets there, Vario's like the first one there. He's like, "Oh, I'm on," and Voss is like,
"Where's Maul? He's right behind me.
He's coming. He's coming." Yeah, but the little coward's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go in." I'm like, I can't believe this guy's still alive.
Yeah.
So he gets on the ship, and then we see Two Boots and Riley trying to figure out how to get there, and Riley's dead. Sacrifices himself. We think.
Brander
sacrifices himself. He picks up that repeating gun thing and starts just taking out.
Yeah, it's not a repeating rifle. I don't know what it's called though. It's like a rotary cannon, I think.
Yeah, it's the same thing they set up in the Empire Strikes or in Star Wars when the Millennium Falcon's trying to fly away and those guys.
And it's in on Hoth.
Yep. The snowtroopers are using it there. Yeah. So,
but it was very reminiscent of this scene. Was very reminiscent of like in Clone Wars, all the amazing heavy machinery.
Right. Although in this
final
case,
stands.
It's not. It's implied that he does not make it.
Heavily implied.
I mean, we see there's still plenty of troopers standing. His gun runs out of juice.
He gets shot in the chest.
He gets shot a couple of times. He told Two Boots before he left with Riley. He said, make sure Riley gets to his mother, because presumably the mom who is with the who is working for the Empire will somehow get Riley out of this trouble.
Which shows that she's very high up in power.
Or
that Riley or Brand are just grasping at straws.
Yes. Which is kind of what
probably what's going to happen, to be honest.
Although, who knows how much with how big the Empire is, who knows how much talking they do to each other. And is this thing that's happening on this one small, tiny planet going to really be affecting anything that's way out there near quarters? Because presumably they're going to get closer and closer to the inner rims.
They're in the mid rim.
Okay, so they got to go to the inner, because that's where she's got to be.
Or they're going to the outer because they're going to wherever the underworld stuff is.
True.
For Vaz.
So
also, if this event instigated a full lockdown and curfew on an entire city, 2 Inquisitors and Lord Vader showing up, then it is a significant event that would be discussed throughout the Empire.
But most people are going to know about the Force users. They're not going to care so much about the regular people that got involved. Vader isn't even going to know their names.
Except, you know who will? The first brother, who interrogated Riley and Lawson.
Okay.
So the last name Lawson will flag for him.
They already know about the mom. Yep. Season 2's got some interesting stuff that could be happening.
I'm excited. Already.
Let's get to the end of episode 10 here.
But I don't know. I lost.
Devin and Maul catch up.
Yeah, in the ship. Because they run on the ship after all this happens. But I will say with the Lawson thing, it is a named character, and there is no body that we see.
That is true.
Fall. I do not think he's alive.
I think when they wrote this show, they intended for this to be a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have a second season that they weren't sure they were going to get in the beginning, and they're going to have all this fan reaction to whether or not we like the guy. And we don't know when this second season's coming, so they've got time to play with this and see if Lawson may come back.
And I have a reason, the same reason as to why I thought I was wrong about the location, the same reason why I think he could be alive, and I'll get into that after we talk about the rest of the episode, which we're almost done with, and then I'll get into that. But so now we're on the ship. You see Riley's crying with 2 Boots, which shows Devin lost her father figure in Docky, and she's angry about it. Riley lost his father figure and his actual father, and he's sad about it. Yep.
And Devin was also crying.
Devin was crying, but she's angry.
She's mad. She wants to, and Maul takes this moment to make a promise that is very telling about where he is and what he wants, where he promises that they will get their revenge.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that sort of calms her.
And she asks her to train him.
Yep. And she says, "I'm ready." And it's like, and so he
awesome.
This whole show has been about Maul being positioned to become the Shadow Lord and take over the syndicates, which he now is in that position. Dryden's bringing him right to where he needs to be. And it was about him, and this got added in, it was about him getting this girl to be his apprentice, and now he's got that too. The winner of this season is very obviously Maul.
Which was exactly what I was worried about when they bring in Vader, which we discussed before. If they bring in Vader, Maul's going to feel like a loser because you have to run away. Right. Whereas this, obviously Vader won the fight.
Yes.
But Maul won the show.
Yes. He got everything he wanted.
Everything he wanted.
He lost of his tools.
All of his people.
But those were just tools.
I mean, Spybot, he clearly had an attachment to.
And Cass had an attachment to him.
Well, yeah, but I don't think he cared about Cass, to be honest.
Especially after all the Mandalorians were gone, he didn't need Cass. And, he lost his Zabrak brethren.
I think he cared more about Icarus and Scorn than he did about Cass.
No, I don't think so. He was with Cass a lot longer. He's been with Cass since the Siege of Mandalore.
He's been with the brother since the Dathomir comic.
That was after he ran away from Mandalore.
No.
What do you mean no?
After Palpatine kills Savage.
Oh,
that's when the comic takes place. That comic is before.
So why weren't they part of his thing with Mandalore then?
Because they're off with the other things.
Okay.
With his criminal stuff.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Because the criminal stuff was supposed to help with Siege of Mandalore.
Because all of that was literally just to draw Anakin, not to actually do it. He didn't tell the Mandalorians that, but it wasn't there to, I'm going to conquer Mandalore. Right.
Well, that wasn't his plan. I'm here. That wasn't his plan until Vizsla screwed him over.
And when Vizsla screwed him over, him and his brother break out. He gets the Darksaber by killing Vizsla and claims the throne, kills What's-Her-Face.
Well, in season 7, too, like, he didn't...
Right.
It was not a permanent, I'm taking over Mandalore. It was, I want Anakin. Okay. After he killed Anakin, I think he would have left anyway.
I want to stop Anakin from becoming...
I think he would have left Mandalore anyway at that point. I don't think he cared.
He wanted to stop Anakin from becoming the Sith Lord.
But that's why
and since he knows he didn't, that's what I'm saying. Since he knows his other plan failed and he's facing a Sith Lord, I don't think it's too much of a jump to figure out that that's Anakin.
But that's why...
He just hasn't had the time to think about it.
That's why he didn't have the Darksaber in Siege of Mandalore.
Right.
Because since the Dathomir comic, it's already on Dathomir, where it is in Rebels.
Yes.
Because Mother Talzin is killed in that comic by Grievous.
Okay. Yeah.
For real that time.
And that's when Sabine finds it and then ends up giving it
and then
to
it's Sabine, and Rebels gives it to Bo-Katan. All that happens. Anyway, back to the show. It's very good.
That's the end of the show.
Amazing.
We're done, really.
Yeah.
Maul is leaving. Maul is on his way to his future, and he lost his again. And this is something that Maul has gone through many times. In order to move toward his future, he has to lose everything in his present, and he did just that in this series. He started this series, he had a team, he had a plan, he had this idea for vengeance, and all of it either takes... I mean, he gets his vengeance, and then the guys he wants to take vengeance on are all dead, or Vario is becoming now one of his tools, and Voss is putting himself right into his hands, and he ends up losing his whole team, he loses his base, he loses where he was going. He lost everything in his present, but his future is being handed to him.
Yeah,
Voss
his
is taking
whole
him where
thing,
he wants to go. He's got a new apprentice. He's
Yeah,
gotten rid of Daki.
Yeah, because his plan at the beginning, was kill Demas, kill Vario, kill Marg Krim, take over the underworld on Janus,
and run it from there.
And Demas got killed. Vario is still alive, working for Maul. Krim is dead, and he's controlling.
And he's got
he
the
controls
spice
the spice,
but he just lost.
And he
his
lost
planet.
Janix, which is fine because I don't think he cared about Janix that much anyway.
Right, but it was just his base right now.
It was just what we were going to use as a base.
And Maul can throw away anything, lose anything. He's never attached to anything or anyone. Now, and so he got rid of, like I said, he lost everything he had at the beginning of the series. Now it's all gone. But he's gotten better positioning for the Syndicate thing. And he now has a very powerful, willing apprentice. So that is very interesting. And I don't know much about Darth Talon, except she looks cool. So if that's who Devin is about to become, that's awesome. I don't know her future. I don't know what happens to her. I don't know why things don't work out. I don't know why later Kira sort of becomes his protege, and it's not Darth Talon who's running things. But, we'll see where this takes us. And if the second season is as good as this one was, I wouldn't mind a third or a fourth. Because like I said, the only thing they've got on the slate for live action Star Wars from now on, we know that there's the Grogu movie coming.
In this month, right? Yeah, 22nd.
May 22nd. And there's nothing after that.
That's also a fun fact about that. That's also the graduation for the seniors this year.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
There's nothing after that except for Starfighter.
Ahsoka season 2 this year,
and
right?
And Ahsoka season 2 is being, and that is the last live action television show. Because Grogu was supposed to get a season 4.
Is the Dave Filoni movie coming out? Is that announced at all? Is that rumored now, or is that announced?
Here's the thing.
Is that going to be based on the Mandalorian Grogu success?
Quite likely. Because Mandalorian was supposed to have a season 4. And season 4 was supposed to start bringing in all of those loose threads from Ahsoka, all this other stuff was going to all tie together and then go into the Filoni movie. Now they've said, nope, we want to be on the big screen. He scrapped season 4.
Who said that? I don't think it was Filoni who
Igor.
said that.
Bob Igor, the guy in charge of Disney. Not the guy in charge of Lucasfilm, the guy who is their boss. Because Filoni is the guy he had season 4 already to go.
Is that Iger the new guy? I thought Iger was the old guy.
Iger got replaced. Who cares? The guy above Filoni.
The CEO of Disney now. Okay.
He's the one that said, we want a big screen movie. We want a spectacle. And he said, this Grogu dude, he's selling stuff, so put him up there. So they scrapped season 4, reworked a lot of it into this movie, built a new story on this movie, and this could be the end.
I'm very excited for Embo.
If it goes great, they're not going to put it back on TV. And if it goes bad,
They're not going to waste their time putting him back on TV. They'll wrap everything up with Ahsoka and call it done. If it goes really good, maybe we'll get to see a reworked Filoni movie after Ahsoka 2. We don't know what's going to happen. But
I will watch it when it comes out.
As far as animation goes, this worked. It was a big
Filoni's
plus.
only ever missed now one time. And I will watch Ahsoka Season 2 when it comes out, hoping it can be better. Because I don't think it can be much worse than Ahsoka Season 1 anyway. I don't think it can get much worse than that. So
watch The Acolyte. It was horrible. I hated The Acolyte. And I'm not one of those toxic Star Wars fans. They just hate everything. Well, no, I love almost everything.
I don't think anybody thinks themselves a toxic Star Wars fan.
I love almost everything. I hated The Acolyte. It was just bad storytelling, and they changed too much. I did not really care for the sequels. It doesn't make me a hater. I don't like Rey. I do think she's a Mary Sue. I think, but it's not because she's a woman. There are plenty of really powerful Star Wars women that I liked. I mean, I'm a big huge Ahsoka fan.
Leia, Sabine,
I am not even. I mean, the non-haters are out there saying you got to kill off Ahsoka. It's too crazy that she's still alive. Blah blah blah. Screen Crush does that all the freaking time. I like Ryan, but his whole kill Ahsoka, you got to get rid of her. It's just stop it.
Can she even die?
I don't know. She already went. She died once.
Yeah.
And
that's what I mean.
Then she came back in time, or went back, I don't know, through that doorway thing.
Oh, that time. I thought you were talking about a different time. I thought you were talking about Mortis.
No, I was talking about when Vader kills her.
Oh, she's died twice then.
Okay.
She fully dies in Mortis. The sister gives up her life to bring Ahsoka back to life.
So is Ahsoka the sister now, technically?
That's what the owl is.
Okay, so the owl's the sister, not Ahsoka. Or
yes.
Okay. It was
is that not
dude, the
obvious?
Mortis, come on, the Mortis storyline is confusing.
No, it's not.
And
wait, what? I thought that made sense.
Okay.
Does that not make sense? Am I crazy?
It was never really nobody came out and said, so this is what this means. Everybody's got theories about what this means, but I don't know what it means. It wasn't clear to me.
I thought the sister is very obviously the owl.
Okay.
Is that not obvious to you?
It wasn't obvious to me.
Then I might be mistaken.
I was also, because I thought they were going to make, I was like, how are they going to make Anakin into the brother? He can't be, because he's the chosen one and he goes off to be Darth Vader. Yet, that's what I thought they were trying to do, is they were going to, it almost looked like they had the brother, the sister, and that would have almost made Obi-Wan the father. I was like, this is really weird. I was very confused by the Mortis storyline.
Okay.
There's a lot of things going on with...
Although I wonder if the father could then technically be Anakin's father then, if he's supposed to be the middle of the Force as a concept. So if that's the Force... But we're not talking about Mortis anyway.
Right, but like I said, so it gets really confusing.
I meant the sister stuff, but the embodiment of the light side of the Force gave her entire life force as she was dying, so the rest of it...
Yes.
Into Ahsoka to bring her back from the dead.
Right.
And she didn't die on Malachor because she got pulled in from Ezra. We thought she died. So she actually
was dead, and Ezra pulled her through the door.
And it was retconned with that. But then that showed she didn't actually die there. She wasn't. She was actually a corpse in that arc and was brought back from the dead.
Okay. And see, that's what annoys so many people.
Can she come back to light? Can she die at this point? Or no, because she's literally the soul of the light side of the Force.
I don't know.
We're not talking about Ahsoka or Mortis, though. We're probably talking about Maul.
We've seen... Well, Maul has been dead several times, has been brought back several times. We know that he dies at one point, and even the fact that he is the embodiment of whatever kills him anyway. We know that the Emperor somehow returns, and it's because of the Dark Force whatever kind of stuff, and then they kill him off again, and then he's like, I am all Sith, and then he dies. Because Rey at the time was all Jedi. And Ahsoka is not a Jedi, so who knows? Maybe Ahsoka is all non-Jedi light users, and maybe... Because there was talk that they might bring Ben back in the further episodes of the stuff that nobody wants to see. Solo.
In what?
In the next movies. They want to do more with Daisy, more with Ben, more with hopefully.
He died.
Yes, I know.
Oh my god. Okay.
But that's why they're going this other direction, saying, "Hey, we're going to do Starfighter and see."
There's something that's cool I want to talk about, like what I think will be amazing for Ahsoka season 2, but we can talk about that in a minute because I want to first talk about the thing I was been alluding to with Maul.
The stuff with Brander.
The thing, so when Lawson, because the way it cuts, it's like Lawson by himself. He's like watching something that we don't see what it is.
Right.
He's like looking somewhere, like down, like this way, and like we don't know what he's looking at. And we cut, and then it's like the Maul fight and everything, and we see him push Docky and all that, and that's like that cut, and it cuts back, and that's when Lawson makes a face, at like a weird face, and then turns away. So it's implied through editing that Lawson saw the fight and saw Maul push Docky.
Oh.
The way that it's edited. Except
I thought they were far away from each other. I didn't get that.
I also thought they were far away from each other. I also thought that Docky was up above from where Lawson was.
Yeah, I thought that.
Lawson is looking at the guy at something. It looks
because during that fight, you see him. There's that like part where the bridge where Devin almost falls down,
and it looks like I thought when we were watching it together, I thought we were just like thinking about something.
Okay.
But I watched it now again last night after we finished, and because the way that it cuts together, this could be an editing trick that they're doing on purpose to make you think that. The way that it's edited, and again, I think he was just in thought.
Okay.
But the editing of it together looks like he's watching the fight, then it cuts to the fight happening.
Okay.
Maul pushes Docky. It cuts back to Lawson, and he makes a face at that point, right after we see Docky get pushed.
Okay.
Then he makes a face, and then he moves.
I thought that was... I was under the impression it was Lawson deciding to sacrifice himself for his son.
That's what I thought as well. But again, the editing was implying the other thing.
But see, the reason why I think they edited it that way is because Maul decides to sacrifice Docky for his apprentice.
Yes.
At the same moment that Dawson decides to sacrifice himself for his son.
Yes.
And I thought that was why they were cutting it the way they did, to show the difference between a self-serving dickhead and a father who is doing this out of love and care for his child. I thought that was why they cut it the way it was.
That
Maul
does
is cool,
work.
and Maul is awesome, but Maul is a self-serving dickhead.
I was looking back on trying to figure out if Lawson could be alive for this next season, which I don't think is going to be the case. But if it is, like, what would that mean?
Well, it did the same thing for... We were trying to find the loophole for the blue chick getting away from this exploding ship.
Yeah,
too.
and I don't... But, so, yeah, if we assume she's alive, that's how Lawson gets anywhere.
Yeah.
But then, because that could be how Devin finds out Maul does that.
Oh.
If she has to fight... But
so you think...
But does she have to fight it out? And so that's where I'm...
So, okay, if we're going to have a future with Darth Talon away from Maul, like if there's going to be, if it isn't that she dies, but that she splits off and goes her own way, you think that the betrayal of Docky could be that would be what that rift is?
I think if Devin finds that out, she's either going to attack Maul or just leave Maul.
Right, okay.
Like, there's no way she stays with Maul after finding that out. That happened with Docky.
Well, now that we know that Devin
does she have to find it out? I don't know.
Now that we know that Devin is a strong Force user, and we assume she's going to become Maul's apprentice, her future is open to a couple of different things, because we don't know what happens to Darth Talon in the future because she was in the books that aren't canon.
Well, no, she was in the unplanned. She was in Lucas's plan for the sequel trilogy.
But she's been used in some things that were non-canon.
Oh, okay.
But her options are, I mean, now that Vader knows about her, has fought her, has seen how strong she is with the Force, and then you toss in Maul's dark side teachings, whatever that's going to be. That might be somebody they want to end up becoming an Inquisitor.
But she won't. She won't be loyal to Vader after Vader killed her master in front of her.
It isn't about loyalty anymore.
That's what Inquisitors are. Inquisitors are loyal to Vader. Vader might still want to recruit her, but she won't go to Vader.
I don't know. When we saw Tales of the Dark Side, is that what it was called? Where we see Barriss and the
Tales
other guy
of
becoming...
the Empire.
Okay, when we see them going through the trials to become an Inquisitor, and stuff like that, it didn't seem like they were all loyal to Vader. They were just trying to figure out how not to die by that time. They're broken. And Talon has now lost her connection to the lightsaber. But I mean, there's a chance she could get it back. I mean, we saw Ventress
but Luminara was not killed by any of the Inquisitors or Vader in front of Barris's eyes.
That's true.
Daki was killed by Vader in front of Devin.
But Vader could very easily say that it was because Maul pushed him onto the saber and twist the truth to fit his needs.
Maybe. No, also, Vader didn't talk at all.
I know.
Which was awesome.
That was really cool. He never had to. And, again, when we're talking about Vader, I would love to see a shirt, a poster, a freaking disc plate, anything that had that Vader standing
when he comes out of the fog.
No, I'm thinking the rocks. Like, after he breaks through the wall, when you were like, oh, it'd be so cool if he breaks through the wall, right? And he breaks through the wall.
And then he breaks through the wall.
And then when they pull that thing down and you see him just tossing the rocks like he doesn't care. Or any of the times when he's got his lightsaber in his one hand and you see it reflecting off his freaking helmet and you see the different dust in his helmet. It was so real looking.
I think episode 9
standing there.
Episode 9 when he walks out and it's like that last shot.
Yeah.
And it's the foggy in the background. It's like dark because they're like lower under the canopy. And he's next to Saber, so it's like all red under. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing. This was I'm hyped to own this. I really hope they put it out on actual media. I want a physical copy of this. I want to own it. I want to say that's a piece of Star Wars that is mine. I want to be able to do that. I can't wait to see what they put on the cover of the DVD. It'd be cool if they do a steel case like they did for the Mandalorian stuff that disappeared real quick and I still don't have, but when they to get this would be just so cool. I would love this.
So, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
Because we can keep talking about Star Wars because we're not gonna make a video just about Star Wars rants or whatever.
That is true.
So we can keep talking.
But we've been on here for quite a while.
Are you bored? I'm
bored. Not bored. I'm sorry that this is going so long.
If you want to click off, then click off.
All right. But yeah, I don't
people's
care if
choice.
Keep talking.
So okay.
I don't want to yell and scream about Ahsoka though, because we differ too much.
So that ends the discussion on Maul's episode 9 and 10.
While we're talking, we might
remember this stuff. But that ends that outright discussion. So now we'll be talking about just Star Wars in general.
Okay.
So
the future of Star Wars.
Anything else that you want to talk about specifically or anything?
I wonder where we go from here.
For Maul or for just in general?
Star Wars in general. Like I said, right now they have planned the Grogu movie, and I think that the first episode of The Mandalorian single-handedly saved the franchise.
So what Star Wars? So let's think. What Star Wars stuff do we know for a fact is happening?
I just told you.
We know
that's it. The Grogu
Mandalorian Grogu,
the Starfighter,
whatever movie with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, and
Ahsoka season 2. And then Maul season 2.
We know there will be. We don't know when.
Yes, and then we know.
And if everything else tanks, they might just say they're done with Star Wars.
So we have a release date for Mandalorian Grogu.
Yeah, 22nd of this month.
We know Ahsoka's going to happen this year. We don't know when. Do we know when?
Is it this year or next year?
I thought it was this year.
It might be this year. It's this
might year, be. I thought it was this year.
I think it is.
We don't have a release date for the Star.
It's in 2027.
Movie. It's next year.
Yes.
Maul at some point.
Next year is Star Wars' 50th anniversary.
That's in May.
Right. So, I mean, this year it's 49, and look, they just did Maul. So next year is going to be 50, and they got to do better than that.
They got to do something big.
Also, future of Star Wars, the IP, we've now confirmed Disneyland in California is bringing in. They're stopping their reliance on the sequel trilogy at Black Spire Outpost, and they're going to utilize. They're going to bring in some of the older Star Wars stuff. The stuff that Star Wars, when people think of Star Wars, most of the time they're not thinking, the first thought that comes in your head when you hear the word Star Wars is not Kylo Ren and Rey. You know, and even in the new stuff, the Millennium Falcon was still there because everybody knows Millennium Falcon is Star Wars, right? So
I thought Vader and X-Wing.
Right. Now we've been to Black Spire, right?
In Florida, though.
In Florida. And it was awesome. It was a hell of an experience. It was really, really cool. We had to make droids. We had
bounty hunter stuff.
We did the whole bounty hunter thing.
We did all of them in one day.
Every single thing. I mean, that was we went to Disney World. I was like, I'll stay here in Star Wars Land. I don't care about the rest of the stuff.
I stayed, and then it was like next to that was Toy Story Land. So it was like all up between these two places, and I'll just stay here.
We had so much fun
because I like Slinky Dog Ride.
But Star Wars, for me, it would have been much cooler if it was like, we're going to go to Hoth. We're going to go to Tatooine. We're going to go to Cloud City. That would have been really cool. That's not what they did. They chose
I'd rather
instead.
we didn't go to Tatooine for like the 80th time. I'd rather any
No, I mean, me. I wouldn't mind.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. Us going there, right? And that Rise of the Resistance ride was freaking phenomenal.
That was good.
So cool. So now what they're talking about doing is they're going to put the different parts of the Black Spire outpost area to be different things. Like, you're still going to have that Rise of the Resistance with the sequel stuff. They're going to move into, I think they said, some of the original prequel trilogy, and then you get the OG Star Wars stuff, where you're going to have Luke and Han and Leia and Chewie. The actual, I mean, what most people think of when they think of Star Wars. So, but then I found out they're only doing that in California. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like.
I'm guessing California's also bigger, though, because the one in Disney is not, it wasn't.
I don't think anything in California is bigger than Disney World. I think Disney World, California was first.
Star Wars Land was a small addition added onto the end of Toy Story Land, which is added on the end of the Toy Story ride and at the back of Hollywood Studios.
Both of them are the same
size.
Yes,
I'm aware. They're both
the same
small.
Experience. It's the same thing, and I'm not saying that they're adding on to this. They're changing how it's seen. Like in the beginning.
Are you saying the California one and the Disney World one are the same size?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're the same. They were the California one, I think, was built first, and then they modeled the one in Florida after that.
Okay, because they are.
And now they're making
it's kind of
changes.
Small area.
Now they're making changes to the one in California, and I think after they see how that goes, then they'll see if they're going to implement any of that in the Florida one.
Which makes it Florida one's bigger and sells more.
Right. It's more people go to Disney World than Disneyland.
Because Florida's a bigger tourist area than California is, typically because California has fires half the time.
Right, and earthquakes, and it's.
But Florida has hurricanes. Not in the park.
Dude, that little girl got eaten at a Disney park.
What?
It was one of those hotel. It was a couple years ago. Disney, those big ass alligators. Disney had to close down parts of the thing to go in and hunt down the alligators. They couldn't find that little girl. That whole family. They were at Disney World, and the alligator came up and grabbed the kid and brought it down, and they never. Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay. I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Star Wars stuff. But so we have 2 shows and 2 movies.
Yes.
And then we also confirmed unreleased when it will come out, but Jedi 3 will happen. Is confirmed.
The game.
Yes.
Really?
It's the 3rd and final of his trilogy, and he won't be getting anything else.
We're sure of this.
That's been confirmed.
Okay.
Which is also what people think he has not been confirmed by anything live action, because he's been vocal camera on hand and wants to do something live action with Cal.
Right.
But they haven't announced anything, and people think that's because they want to wait for the game, because they don't want to spoil anything that happens in the game.
Something I heard some fan theory on one. I think it might have been Screen Crush again. That in 3 he's supposed to die,
and that's being left open so that
and if he dies, they'll never get. I mean, what would be the point of bringing him in life?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to see. All right, now are we doing what we know? Future of this? Where do you want to go? What do you think that needs to be addressed? I know you think that Ahsoka 2 needs to fix a lot of what happened in Ahsoka 1, and has to reinvigorate this series.
Well, so okay, I'm going to not get into a huge emotional bit, but I'll explain why I don't like the Ahsoka stuff.
Well, you did. What I want to know isn't why you don't like it, but how we fix it.
I don't think you can fix the Sabine stuff because you've already retconned it. You can't retcon the retcon. That's just bad writing.
Okay.
And
we could have her die, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Well, I like Sabine the character before Ahsoka.
Okay. Well, I liked Ezra the character before Ahsoka much more than I liked the one in Ahsoka.
I agree, but I think
there's nothing we could do with Skull because the actor died.
I think they've said. I think they're saying he died between seasons.
Okay, which leaves his apprentice.
Which I didn't let. Again, underdeveloped. I thought.
Right. Well,
develop them more, and that's fine.
And that we would be focused on one person instead of all these people.
But Thrawn, I think you abandon that part. You focus more on the Thrawn part. That's the more interesting part. That's more people. People are gonna care about that more.
Presumably, Thrawn's coming back in. If they did a movie, everybody would be trying to fight. Thrawn would be trying to reunite the pieces of the Empire are still around,
that has to be put down and squashed because
here's okay.
Because the First Order has to rise out of those ashes, right?
Here's my perfect idea. So this is ignoring everything to do with the villain stuff.
Okay.
Just about the Night Sister stuff. And so this would probably have to be into season 3 if we get that.
Okay.
Because it involves Cal and Marin, assuming they both survive the Jedi 3.
Okay.
But also this would have to be after the Jedi 3 comes out.
Is Marin Cal's wife or Cal's daughter?
The Night Sister is the girlfriend.
Okay.
They're not married.
I thought they were married. I'm sorry.
They're not married come 2, but they're together come end of 2.
Okay. And they have a kid.
They adopted a different kid. They don't have a kid together.
And she's Force sensitive.
She's the daughter of a Jedi.
Okay.
So implied, but not confirmed.
Okay.
But I don't care about her at all.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't really matter to the story. She's more of a plot point than an actual character.
They could send her
in that
to
game.
Academy.
Yeah, well, he making his own academy on a different thing. All that's not important. Okay. I'm saying, I just want to see Cal because I love Cal Kestis. He's probably one of my favorite characters in modern Star Wars.
Okay.
And just maybe Star Wars in general because I just love Cal, and I feel like playing as him, you get more personal connection to him, which is just how games work.
Right.
But I think if you have Marin, who's Night Sister, be that bridge of Night Sister Magic to Night Sister Magic with Morgan Elsbeth,
okay,
and have that bridge where Night Sister gets on Night Sister would be interesting, parallel, okay, and they both have memories of like Grievous attacking, which we've seen,
right,
would be interesting parallel to explore.
And then bring Maul in?
Well, Maul's dead.
Oh.
In Ahsoka. Come Ahsoka time.
Okay.
But with like, you could have even if you have it beginning with, you have Ahsoka meet Marin. Not necessarily Cal at first.
Right.
And so you have them animosity because Ahsoka doesn't trust Marin because she's a Night Sister. And Ahsoka's only ever fought against Night Sisters before.
Right. They've always been the bad guy.
And Morgan Elsbeth was just a bad guy in the last season and stuff. And so you can have Cal be like this mediator, which would be kind of cool. I think that'd be cool to interact with. I want Cal to become a bigger player. And if this is potentially going into a feature film, I want to see them in that movie. Okay. Which, again, wishful thinking. Not gonna happen. Don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, a Jedi that's not part of the Skywalker family that becomes a main character would be pretty cool because he doesn't have any connection to the Skywalkers.
Yes.
That could be the answer they've been looking for.
And it will also be cool for Ahsoka because presumably Cal knows Ahsoka. Right. Ahsoka probably doesn't know who Cal was. She wouldn't know every Padawan that was there. But everybody everybody knows Anakin's Padawan, and she was on trial for all of it, and she left the Order, which is crazy. Yeah. She was a Padawan who is like one of the best Padawans ever, like skill wise, she was awesome.
Well, and when they offered her to come back, and I think this is important, Yoda said that everything she went through would have been her trial. She would have come back as a Jedi Knight. Mm-hmm. And she said, no, thanks. See you later. I don't trust you guys anymore.
And so, like, Cal, in his game right now, he is a Jedi Knight considered because he was knighted after by Seer.
Okay. I think all that sounds fascinating, but I didn't get into those games as deep as you did.
I think you should play them. I think I've played. Here's a little note for you guys.
My game was Force Unleashed.
Yeah, well, I don't.
And in my wish list, I would like to see them bring some of those elements into the Star Wars universe.
Well, his name is Galen Merrick, and the first brother's name is Merrick.
That could be kind of cool. But I would like to see more of like Vader having the idea of having a secret apprentice. You know, like we know Dooku had.
He could have that, and then instead call him an Inquisitor to then max it for the Emperor.
Okay, we need to call it quits because that's not going to stop.
But. I lost what I was talking before.
It was all about Kestis.
Yeah, well, so a note for you guys, just because... So I have played through both of those games fully several times. I have 100%ed from a 0% save file, 100% survivor, twice on 2 different accounts, gotten all achievements on 2 different emails, and played through the Story Die Survivor over 10 times.
Okay.
I love that game. I love the story.
Each time, have you done different, or is it all?
It's like different stances, so I've like done different like combat moves and
but
stuff.
Like the story, or the overall story, brings you to the same ending, is what I mean.
Oh yeah, there's no choose. It's not a choose your thing. It's the exact same story.
Okay. Like I said, I would like to see some of the elements of Unleashed brought into. Some of the characters in there were just really cool. Some of the ideas behind there were really cool. Some of the ways that the
Rebels were starting were kind of neat. And they've done a lot of that kind of stuff. Like with Andor, we see the beginning of the rebellion. With the Rebels, we see parts of the beginning of the rebellion. I would just like to see them just bring in some of it, you know. Also, like I said before, I would love to see an animated version of Shadows of the Empire. I think that'd be great. It could be one of those Elseworlds we were talking about, which might be where Star Wars needs to go if we can't unite the whole thing. But I think it's an interesting time to be a Star Wars fan. Things are going pretty well right now, where we've got an uncertain future, but the future always is uncertain. But at least now we've got hope.
I think we are in a very high point of Star Wars, if not the highest point. For me, it is probably the highest point.
Right. And I really think it's the TV stuff that saved it. Mandalorian Season 1 was just amazing. Maul Season 1 has been amazing. Skeleton Crew was an interesting side.
This is my favorite project just of all Star Wars.
Andor was
is
amazing.
Maul.
So we've had a lot of wins. But yeah, with that, what do you guys think? Leave us messages down in the links below or in the comments below. Did we fix our Discord?
I'm updating that.
Discord will be fixed in a week, and maybe in the Discord thing we can put just a whole Star Wars section, and we can hash out some.
If you guys want to join, we want to talk. We want to talk to people.
We just got our 198th subscriber. So hey, we're
almost at 200.
All right, but we will talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot for joining in wherever you did, or if you did for the whole thing. More power to you. Give us some likes, tell your friends. More subscriptions definitely helps. All right, guys, have a good evening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.